We're back. We're here to talk about our experience with Instacart. I'm Michael.
And I'm Elle, and in this video, we would like to walk you through our experience after setting up to become Instacart shoppers. And in this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of being an Instacart shopper. And of course, at the end, we're going to tell you what we made, have an example for you so you can see if being an Instacart shopper is right for you. Okay, so let's dive into it. After we got approval for shopping on Instacart, it was pretty cool. We went onto the app and we were able to get a batch really quickly. But there are pros and cons to everything. So the pros are you don't need a truck to do these deliveries. You can use your car, any type of reliable transportation. On some of the other apps like Roadie, GoShare, and other delivery apps, you need trucks or vans. So if you have a car or a smaller vehicle, Instacart is great. Also, if you like shopping and helping people, this is also great for you too, because there is a sense of accomplishment getting people their groceries and items that they need if they're not able to go get them themselves. And Michael will be going over the cons.
One of the cons, as soon as you accept a batch, you need to get to that store right away. Why? Because there's a time limit. Who knew there was a time limit? Well, there is, and if you don't complete it in enough time, well, you could be out of some money.
We don't really know what happens if you run out of time, because luckily for us, we never ran out of time in our example. So we've already been on Instacart and been Instacart shoppers for about a week now, and we haven't ran out of time yet, but the timer is there and it is rolling.
Mm-hmm. And you probably end up in a store that you're unfamiliar with. So it's your best interest to maybe travel around, get to some different stores and get familiar with them.
Yep, definitely do your homework. Like right now, I can tell you that Michael and I have not accepted any batches from stores that we have either A, never stepped foot into, so we don't know the layout of the store, or B, not really comfortable finding items in the store. So for instance, I'll give you an example. Like we've never really been into a Sprouts, and Sprouts is one of those stores that is on Instacart. We have not accepted a batch on Sprouts because we need to get the delivery done in a certain time. We don't know where to find things in the store. We don't know how crowded the store is going to be. So we kind of opted out. So do your homework if you want to do more than a few stores.
And if the store is crowded, yeah, there could be some issues there. And don't forget, some of the people that request for you to pick up items, well, they can live very far. You have to have that car gassed up and ready to go.
Yeah, mileage is a problem. Now, one thing I would definitely say is if you have tried any of the side hustles, driving and delivering for these other delivery apps, the difference with Instacart and these apps is with Instacart, you drive through the store or the merchant's address, you do all of the shopping there, and then you deliver. With the other apps, you will be driving all over the place with your vehicle. And so that's wear and tear on your vehicle, that is gas, and that is time. So you're spending time either way, but it depends. Where do you want to spend the time? Do you want to be in the store shopping for the items, spending your time, then dropping off? Or do you want to be driving to several different locations with deliveries that you picked up from a store? And here are some tips for you to be successful with Instacart. Now, remember, we've only been doing this for about a week, but I think that we have done pretty well. Number one, be sure that when you go into the store, you follow the shopping list. So there is a shopping list in there. Instacart puts it in there and it kind of tells you what items are from what aisles, and you can follow that list chronologically. If you go off of the list, you're going to be going into a whirlwind. Another tip is be prepared with 2 carts, especially for when you have multiple orders.
Yes. And don't be afraid to check with the customer.
Yeah.
Because if the product you're looking for is not there, hey, they'll let you know there's a replacement. Go ahead and get that. So it's pretty good. Pretty good.
That's one thing that I actually do like about the app, especially because With Instacart, you are shopping for someone. So somebody needs these items, and think about yourself. We're pretty particular when it comes to shopping. And when you're talking about groceries and personal items, those are things that we want good selection. We want the best product. So we need to put ourselves in their shoes as far as Instacart customers go. What would I want if I was receiving these? So that can be a pro and con because you want to provide the best products. The con is you always hope that you made the right selection. So for instance, if somebody wanted a bunch of radishes, you might be standing there for several minutes picking out, okay, well, I would choose and select this bunch of radishes with a customer like that. So sometimes you got to kind of get over yourself and go with that. If there's any doubt, like Michael said, you can always chat with them. So I do like that chat feature because then you can be more confident that you selected the right item, or certain items are out of stock, then you got to find replacement. Okay, so we've got into the part of the video where I wanted to show you a little bit of the app. All right, so here we are with the Shopper app. That's what it's called. You can see a little carrot with the Shopper handle there. And once you get it to your phone, and that is required. All right, so here you see my mobile device, and you can see the app. All you need to do after you approve is get the app, because you cannot be a shopper if you do not download the app onto your phone. That is a requirement, and you can have it on your computer, but that's not going to work. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get into the app. So the first will be the account screen. So you can see if you want, there's a little let's celebrate you part where you can play a little video about yourself. All right, so let's get into this. This is the account screen, and I'm just going to show you really quickly. There's a safety shield here. If you're ever in trouble on a batch, you can click that. Of course, here where you got some common questions answered, but this is the main account page. So a lot of things here. You can click on your profile to see what information you have. All right, so here we are in the app, and we just went to the account page. So you have the blue shield here. This is for if you ever need help or you're in an unsafe situation, that's going to reach out to 911. Frequently asked questions, how-tos here in the question box. And then if you scroll down, you can, if you want to celebrate yourself, they have some kind of video, but this is the screen where you can look in on your profile, make sure you got all that information on your payout accounts, because let's face it, you got to get paid. And then of course you got a payment card here, and the rest of it, like your current orders. You can get reimbursed in case you have to spend some kind of money on yourself. And then batch eligibility, which is your batches that's what they're called in Instacart. So you can be eligible for more different batches depending on how many batches you've completed. Then of course you always have your safety trainings, and they always give us shopping tips to help us maximize earnings, tips, and also get batches done. And then of course you can always walk through the demo orders, which is what I would recommend, is going through the demo orders first, kind of get your feet in there with the app. But one thing I must say is it's pretty easy to navigate. What do you think?
Yeah, even I can do it.
Michael's going to tell us a little bit about his experience walking through the app.
Pretty painless. Yeah, it was pretty easy, going through what the customer wanted me to pick out, and if I had any issues, I let me know right away. Updates to their order, so that was great.
Yeah, so it was a pretty painless process. One thing about Instacart that I must say is they definitely give you the step-by-step instructions. So as Michael said, it was pretty easy because they give you step-by-step instructions, and they say press this, press that, confirm this, and confirm that. Where we had some questions or concerns about the payment process, how does that go? So if you get into Instacart, you'll find that usually the payment options and the way that you should check out are already in the app, and it walks you through. So for instance, you go through your batches, you find the item, you scan the item, you ensure that everything is good, and that's the product that the customer wants. Finally done, you will press go to checkout. So when you get to the checkout, if you're at a store and the customer has, like their savings card or their membership card, it'll be on there, you scan it. Then you proceed with checkout. You can either do self-checkout in some of them, or you can go to the checker and they can bag it up for you. And then you'll look in the app and it'll tell you, done with checkout. And you'll go ahead and either scan it or run your Instacart card to pay for it. And then the next thing you'll do is take a picture of the receipt. You'll keep the receipt and then you'll proceed to delivery. So it's pretty easy. And a lot of the times it's pretty close by. The one thing that really makes it more complicated is when they batch several orders together. So that's when you really need maybe 2 carts to keep the orders separate, so that when you go to checkout, you are scanning the correct order with the correct items for the correct customer. Finally, we're at the point where we want to know, okay, how did you do? And yesterday I did go out and I was a shopper for a little while. All right, so now we come to the part that we've been waiting for. After yesterday's shopping extravaganza, and it's just an example, I would show you a little bit more, but just to kind of show you what was yesterday's earnings for probably about maybe 4 hours, and total shopping time, travel time. This is what I made. Bam. And so as you can see there, it was $72.68. Now for some of us, that may be a bunch of peanuts in a bucket. That's great if that's not for you. But if this is for you, let me keep on going. You can see over here that as far as cashing out, I can cash out right now. So if I needed that $72 in my bank account right now, I could do that. And also, I'm going to go ahead and press that button. Go ahead and, so this is what happens when you cash out. All right. And you can see that I got my batch earnings and my tips, 50 cents for cashing out. And I'm going to go ahead and cash out now. There you go, cashed out. Awesome. And then you scroll up or down and you press done. Okay. And now my balance is 0. So now I've got all of my earnings out of Instacart and I can start earning again. So one thing I wanted to point out was in the previous screen, you could see that the batch earnings were a whole lot less than the tips. So tips are where you can make your money. The customer really appreciates you. One thing about Instacart is they prompt the customer to tip by percentage. So whatever their bill may be, they prompt them to tip 5% of the bill or whatever. So you can already see what type of tips you'll be making, which is pretty encouraging for you to get that shop done on time and also accurately. And then other things here, just for us to take a look at other earning opportunities, is shop at times with higher pay. So sometimes we've got peak times. You can take advantage of promos. So like right now in our area, we know for sure, we're here making this video, but we did see that there's a promo going on where they're adding a couple of bucks onto every batch because it's busy. That's a good incentive. Now, like I said, if $2 doesn't mean anything to you, totally fine. But for those of us that actually enjoy this stuff and it makes sense, then, adding a few dollars on there won't hurt. And then you can invite friends. So if you give them your friend a code, if they want to be an Instacart shopper, then you see what the offer is there. For us, we both went on and it was really weird because I didn't get any promo, but Michael got the first week
$5 extra.
Yeah, so he got $5 extra per batch.
Yes.
All right, so there you go. Our first week on Instacart being shoppers. My earnings yesterday, it was $72.68. And like I said, I did not work a full day. I actually haven't tried working a full day on Instacart because we've got a few things going on. But I think in our next video, that's what we'll try to do, is document and talk about one day and our one-day earnings. All right, so as you can see, it was a great experience for us so far, 1 week being Instacart shoppers. If you like this video, like, subscribe, and share, and check us out on our other videos where we try to help you make that money. So until the next time, aloha.
Bye-bye.